We are once again going to be discussing SSSniperwolf today. For those of you who have been following my channel, I have talked about Sniperwolf quite a few times on various different occasions. I try not to do too many videos back to back. Instead, I like to wait and gather as much information as I can to put it in a longer form video, so there's not 50 videos about the same person on my channel. Sometimes that doesn't necessarily work out though, because I think this is already like my 5th video talking about her, but today is a little bit different. Today we're talking about a copyright situation. In this situation, she actually isn't in the wrong, and this is actually more of a YouTube situation than a Sniperwolf situation, which is very interesting. With that being said though, this is a mashup video. I am going to be discussing some other topics, including an update on the Charlotte the Stingray situation. If you are only interested in one topic, I will have chapters below so you can skip to the exact moment that you want to hear about, but I hope you stick around for the full video because I love having you here and I would love to know your thoughts about everything we have to talk about today. Also, I originally was going to film this using my SD card instead of using OBS. However, I had a Zoom meeting earlier and my camera was already plugged in. Sometimes it lags a little bit. I think from the last time that I have recorded with this camera, it did okay. I'm hoping that it does okay again. I won't be recording that much with the camera today. Instead, I will be doing voiceover footage as I've been doing the past few videos. Thank you for dealing with this if it is lagging. Let's get on to the first topic, being Charlotte the Stingray. So in case you haven't seen my previous video on Charlotte the Stingray, I'll link it in the description below. For those of you who don't know, Charlotte the Stingray was very popular because there was this rumor that she had this miraculous pregnancy where either she was pregnant with shark babies because there were sharks in her tank that were biting her, and they thought that the biting was from mating, even though if they were biting her, they should have removed her from the tank. The other theory was that it was something called parthenogenesis. I hope I'm saying that right. They believed that it was very possible that she could have become impregnated by herself without a mate. Both of these ended up being untrue. She was never pregnant. But people did not find this out right away. This aquarium began milking this entire situation for months, and people began to get more and more worried and concerned over parthenogenesis could take longer than a normal pregnancy. But it was going on for 8 to 9 months, and people were getting really concerned. They stopped uploading videos of Charlotte. The final pictures and videos that were posted of Charlotte by other people, not just the aquarium itself, had some concerning aspects to it, such as the sore that was on her back. Finally, they had made the discovery and announcement that she was never pregnant, that she had a reproductive disease. And this a lot of people off, myself included, for a multitude of reasons. Why did they not seek professional help sooner instead of blocking people that were giving them advice? Because this Stingray suffered for months while this aquarium milked a story that was untrue. Number 2, people are comparing this to the lack of care and knowledge of reproductive health, and it's so bad that they're even doing it to fish, and the fish was basically exploited for entertainment and funds towards this aquarium. I have a very terrible update for you. Not only was Charlotte never pregnant, not only was she diagnosed with a disease that should have been treated and diagnosed many months prior than what it was, she died. Charlotte is on the Aquarium and Shark Lab by Team Echo Facebook page, a post was made on June 30th at 10:00 p.m. which stated, "We are sad to announce after continuing treatment with her medical care team and specialist, R.A. Charlotte passed away today. We are continuing to work with her medical care team and research specialist. The Team Echo family appreciates your continued love and support while we navigate this great loss. The aquarium will remain temporarily closed, during which time our staff will continue to care daily for our other fish and animals." It's important to note one thing if you haven't seen my previous video. The care team that they're talking about and the specialists were not involved until May, several months after this quote-unquote pregnancy was announced. I honestly don't know if this situation could have been prevented. It seems like the disease she had was pretty severe, but the fact that this poor Stingray was suffering for months and months while the people who were supposed to be taking care of her at this aquarium were pushing this false story, not doing enough to help her, her, blocking professionals, sharing their concerns on their Facebook pages. I don't condone sending hate or harassment of any kind. That being said, they deserve all of the criticism that they are receiving for how they handled this situation, because there is no reason why this Stingray should have suffered. They were negligent and ignorant to her condition and decided, you know what? Nah, we're gonna just keep pushing this story as long as we can, acting more and more suspicious as time went on. Despite the fact that Team Echo's Facebook page has disabled comments on seemingly all of their recent posts, there are still reviews on the page. I have redacted the names of the people who have left these reviews, but this is what some of the page's followers had to say. Poor Charlotte, suffering for sensationalism. It wasn't worth it. The poor Stingray didn't before making the owners a fortune off of her suffering. Her life could have been saved, but the proprietors of this tourist trap chose to spin a fantastical tale of a shark pregnancy miracle to boost their visitor numbers and donations instead of providing her with the necessary medical care, in my opinion. This shameful exploitation underscores a reprehensible disregard for the well-being of the animals in their care, all in the name of profit. This tourist trap needs to be shut down. I am devastated and outraged by the preventable loss of Charlotte the Stingray. The absolute neglect of this facility, which prioritized a PR stunt over true expert in veterinary care, is what resulted in her death. We demand that they take accountability for their actions. This tragic incident could have been avoided, and it's a shame on those responsible. Immediate and transparent accountability is crucial to ensure that nothing like this ever happens again. This entire facility should be shut down. You're all absolutely disgusting for what you did to Charlotte. Now, if you go onto Google, it'll actually say that this location is temporarily closed, as mentioned in the one Facebook post, but there was one recent review that I also found to be insightful. Since this was posted 2 weeks ago, this actually seems like it was posted before Charlotte's passing. Was very sad to see how you've manipulated so many people at the expense of the Stingray, knowing and being told that she needed help and not listening to the experts. It was very sad. I was really excited reading about how this place came to be, and honestly, it was inspiring. But now seeing the facts and information regarding the care and manipulation of the situation to gain status is truly sad. At this point, all living animals at this place need to be evaluated, and probably staff should get better educated. I also want to mention I think that there is a huge difference between sending hate and sending criticism. I do not condone sending hate, as I mentioned earlier. I don't feel bad that they're being criticized for this though. I think criticism is deserved in this situation because this is a situation that never should have happened. I personally don't know as a fact if Charlotte would have survived if they did seek care sooner, but I at least know that they probably could have made her more comfortable, and the likelihood of her surviving was probably higher if they intervened sooner instead of letting her suffer for months. This is so heartbreaking too, because I remember months ago when I first heard about this, way before I even considered ever talking about this on a YouTube video, I remember finding this story fascinating, being one of the people that actually believed that perhaps it was parthenogenesis. But the way that this story has turned, the way that so many people have grown attached and cared for this Stingray is really sad, and it's just so sad in general that something had to suffer like this for exploitation. I had to add this in here. I made a pinned comment on my video once I found out Charlotte did not deserve what she had gone through. I hope the aquarium that handled her is looked into or investigated. If they were negligent with the Stingray, who knows what other animals or fish that they could be negligent with. This is something that never should have happened, and whether or not Charlotte would have passed away regardless, she did not have to suffer for months. So many professionals tried to reach out and give advice and help the people who ran this aquarium. They blocked them instead of taking their advice. So yes, I personally believe that this is absolutely negligent on their behalf. Moving on to the SSSniperwolf situation. So this is a very interesting situation that has been going on over the past few days, and I felt the need to come on here and talk about it because most of the time when we're talking about Sniperwolf, she's usually in the wrong for something. However, in this case, it seems like she actually isn't. A YouTuber named One Giant Onion has come out and stated that a video he had made quite a while ago that was about 3 hours long, titled "Watching Sniperwolf Videos Until I Laugh," was actually struck down. Copyright strike.
Alright, so before I start this video, I just want to say if Sniperwolf tries to take this video down, I will take legal action. So hopefully this video stays up. And yeah, today I'll be watching Sniperwolf Until I Laugh. So I don't know how long this video is going to take, but yeah, if the video says it's 10 hours, then yeah, it is 10 hours. And I'm just sitting here because I have no life, and I'm going to be watching Sniperwolf, and we'll just start now.
Hello friends,
And,
it's me. Today we're gonna be watching some TikToks that are for the boys.
3 hours later.
About it on Twitter, I got into a car crash.
There's a difference between a copyright claim and a copyright strike. A copyright claim will allow your video to remain playable on YouTube and it will not be taken down. Your channel will not be penalized. All it means is that the owner of the copyrighted material, or the supposed owner, will receive monetary gain from that video instead of you receiving any monetary gain from that video if it was monetized. That being said, a copyright strike is different, where it completely takes the video down and gives the channel a strike on YouTube. And pretty much everybody knows at this point that when it comes to strikes on YouTube, you get a warning, then you get 2 strikes, and if you get that 3rd strike, your channel is done, and it's very, very hard to get it back, even if you're not in the wrong. Now, I will say that with One Giant Onion, this video and a couple other videos that were similar to this were not only very long with some of SSniperwolf's clips and other videos having clips from other YouTubers, it wasn't that transformative. Now, one could argue that, well, a lot of SSniperwolf's videos include videos from other parties, such as the TikToks she reacts to, or sometimes doesn't react to. Yeah, her content isn't the most transformative either, but one could argue that the majority of the content he was reacting to wasn't even SSniperwolf's content, rather random TikToks she had thrown into her videos. Even still, if he was reacting to several of her videos, if she did decide to copyright claim him, or even copyright strike him, as hypocritical and scummy as that would be, she legally would not be in the wrong for it if he didn't provide transformative content. There are a lot of fair use regulations, but if you're not being transformative, that can get really sketchy. With that being said, One Giant Onion did post this video just a few days ago. I'm not going to play the full thing, but I'm going to add some highlighted clips just so you know what's going on.
Today, I logged onto my YouTube account to change the thumbnail of one of my videos, and I was met with something very shocking. I actually have received a strike on my channel. Now, at first, I was really confused because I haven't done anything wrong. Honestly, when I first received this news, I thought maybe I got struck for one of my older, edgier videos, but upon further inspection, it turns out that I actually received a copyright strike from SSniperwolf. She took down one of my videos called Watching SSniperwolf Until I Laugh. Now, this was a 3-hour long video where I watched most of SSniperwolf's content, and the premise was she's not funny, so I'm just gonna like stay there and not laugh, pretty much. It was just like a simple joke, and nothing was intended to harm anyone, and everybody understood it was a joke. Now, this video has been out for like 8 months, and there have never been any problems with it. I wasn't copyright claimed or struck or anything for all that period of time, and now, out of nowhere, she just decided to strike this video because I guess she was upset about it or something. This channel is my life. I have said dozens of times that I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have this channel, and I seriously mean that. This is my only source of income, and this is my dream job, and I love it, and the community I have here is literally the only thing I have. And I just want to keep making videos on here that people enjoy watching, but right now my literal job is being threatened by SSniperwolf, of all people. I'll do everything I can to keep uploading. It's just I might have to take a back seat for a while because right now I'm really scared and my job is being threatened.
Basically, he stated that he was going onto his channel to change the thumbnail of one of his videos when he noticed the strike, and the strike came from who he thought was SSniperwolf. In his original video, he redacted the name of the person who struck him, but later on, that image was revealed to say SSniperwolf Collaboration Company, which I'll mention this again later on. I believe the company that SSniperwolf is affiliated with, or at least used to be affiliated with, is Channel Red LLC. So I would imagine that if it actually were her company trying to take down any video, it would be under that, not SSniperwolf Collaboration Company. As we'll get into in a few moments, with all of the evidence we currently have and with SSniperwolf's own statements, it seems that the person who struck this video down wasn't actually SSniperwolf, but an impersonator, either a fan or somebody trying to make her look worse. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. After One Giant Onion posted this video titled "My YouTube Channel Might Get Banned," a few commentary channels did pick this up one being Moist Critikal, who is probably one of the most popular commentary channels out there currently. And with the limited information that was provided in the video, a lot of people were saying how messed up it was that SSSniperwolf copy-struck this video when she herself is somebody who doesn't make very transformative content, at least in my opinion. His original video on this subject was titled "SSSniperwolf Striking a Channel is Crazy," and that currently has 2.8 million views. After this video was posted, SSSniperwolf actually contacted him through Twitter and stated this: "I want to clarify that I did not strike anyone's video. I do not have any pending takedown notices. I believe someone else must have done it on my behalf." Critikal replied with, "If that's true, you should contact the strike channel and get the information of the person who did strike it so you can take legal action against them. There's a huge problem with this dog on this platform right now, so it would be great to put a stop to it." SSSniperwolf then stated, "That channel made no attempt to contact me, and neither did you. I have no pending takedown notices for my channel, so how can I confirm that it's not fake drama? It's irresponsible to make a video with false information without reaching out for the facts." I have two thoughts on this. The first is, she is right. I mean, she is in the right by saying that more research should have been done. I will give her that, but she's also a huge hypocrite because she has made so many accusations about so many other people that were blatant lies. Not even just "I did poor research." No, she has just blatantly lied multiple times about other people and other experiences that I don't think she's necessarily the right person to be preaching that. But again, what she said isn't wrong. I'm sorry, I had to add that in there. SSSniperwolf then stated, "Where is the video you think I took down?" She then provided two screenshots, the first being a list of what seems to be videos she has either copyright claimed or struck. She shares a whole list of different videos that she has taken down. So even though she didn't take this video down, there's an entire list of videos on her, I guess, removal page that she has gotten taken down or has copyright claimed. We don't know the reasons as to why, but I just find it interesting as a person who constantly steals other people's content for her own without being very transformative more than half the time. And then the second one is a photo that states "Strike on June 27th, 2024. I believe this picture is actually from One Giant Onion's video itself, where he had redacted the name of the person who had struck his channel at that time. I think with the information we currently have that it genuinely wasn't her or anybody on her behalf. The SSSniperwolf company that was listed in that picture, I feel like if it was actually SSSniperwolf's company, it would be Channel Red, which is her LLC. We've gone over that with certain lawsuits and stuff that she has been involved with, but she does have multiple channels, so I don't know if this list is her history from all of those channels combined or just one of those channels. Again, I don't think that that changes anything at this current point in time. There is one other thing though, which is the fact that she does have a history of false DMCAing and copy striking people to silence them and to also get information on them or to spread misinformation on them, as I've mentioned in previous videos. Again, that does not mean that she did that this time, because everything that she said seems to line up pretty well with the way that YouTube works. I wanted to say that because she might be innocent in this situation, but I don't necessarily feel that bad that she's being called out for it because of how often she used to do this in the past. So first, One Giant Onion actually made a post on Instagram stories that stated, "I have to call BS on this. If it were a claim, then I can understand it, but an impersonator of Leah would gain nothing out of this just striking a video. That actually is unheard of." She actually said it's irresponsible for me to post a video saying she struck me before reaching out to her for facts. How the F could I ever get her attention without talking about it? I have 300 followers on Twitter and 4,000 on here. She would have never responded. You're silly if you think she would have. After this, however, One Giant Onion did make a post on Twitter that states, "Here is the copyright strike I received from either SSSniperwolf or someone impersonating her. But how can you say it's irresponsible to post a video without reaching out to you first about it? You would have never responded in a lifetime. I hope this wasn't you though." And in this picture, you can see the full information where it states "content removed by SSSniperwolf collab company" in parentheses. SSSniperwolf responds, "Hey, I'm pretty active on Instagram. It's not that hard to reach me. That is not me or my claim. Have you tried emailing them?" One Giant Onion replies, "I'm working to find out more information about the claimant. It was my mistake not reaching out to you. I thought in a context like this, it would have been best to post my video as soon as possible. I also was very certain it was you since the names match up. Again, my apologies. So it does seem like his opinion changed after realizing that this wasn't Sniperwolf. People have done this in the past with people's videos. It's actually easier than it should be to impersonate another creator to get a video copyrighted or even copyright stricken. All it really takes is one unhinged fan of hers to really try to do something like that. And considering how long the video was and perhaps it not being very transformative, maybe it got overlooked by YouTube, I do hope that this is something that can be resolved and that the impersonator doing this does receive repercussions, because I'm fairly certain that's not allowed on YouTube. This actually is a problem on YouTube where people will claim to be other creators or artists or companies and they aren't, and they false claim videos and they false strike videos and false DMCA them on behalf of somebody who they are not. And that's not something that you can do on YouTube, and it's something that should be investigated, and YouTube also should be doing a better job at navigating all of this and making sure that everything that is going on with this, since it is a legal process, can be vetted at the very least. Now, after this situation, Critikal did make an update video that stated Sniperwolf did not strike a channel, which has 2.3 million views compared to the 2.8 million views the video prior had, and in that video he does correct the information regarding this situation.
I reached out to One Giant Onion to just send me all of the info about the strike, which he was more than willing to do, so I appreciate that. I'm not going to post a screenshot because they're not mine to post. That's up to One Giant Onion if he wants to talk deeper about it and show those. I'll just talk about what was there. So, the copyright strike was filed by an individual who claims to be representing an agency, a collaborative agency, that works with Sniperwolf. So they were successfully able to file the strike based on the information that they are with this agency that represents Sniperwolf, thus they have the right to enforce her copyright. This is a pretty common thing, like I mentioned. There are tons of scumbag vermin that do this, these corporate suits that take this action, and many agencies that make this a core part of their strategy. However, what's definitely not a core part of their strategy is having the agents that are filing these takedown requests and strikes use a personal Gmail account. That's where things immediately became very clear to me that this is probably straight up horseradish. The email account was someone's personal Gmail. They weren't using a company account. It was not a professional email. It was just random Joe Blow's Gmail account that they're probably subscribed to browsers through.
In this video, Critikal elaborates on how rare this actually is. There aren't many instances of an individual impersonating on behalf of an agency affiliated with a creator. It has happened only a handful of times, and in those handful of times, very serious repercussions were taken either legally or by YouTube. And the reason why this particular situation is extremely interesting is because, as Critikal mentioned, the person claiming to be part of this agency was using a personal Gmail account, which is very unlikely when it comes to an agency. And on top of that, as we'll get into later, he explains that this isn't the only time that this has happened with either this particular person or people pretending to be part of this agency. Apparently, with a conversation he had with Sniperwolf, she claimed that they have even done this to her own videos. Now, I'm not sure about any other commentary channel that may have covered this, because I think there were a few that did cover this very quickly, but I don't think that it was Critikal's intention to purposefully spread misinformation or be malicious by any means. I personally think that he should take the first video down and leave the other one up, or take the video and unlist it and leave it as a link in the description of his corrected video, because it does seem like there are more views on the first video than the second one. That being said, while I do think it's hypocritical that she stated it's irresponsible to make a video with false information without reaching out for the facts, considering that she has spread several different lies and has spread a lot of misinformation over the years of her YouTube career and has been purposefully malicious towards other creators on the platform. All of that considered, she is right in this situation. As the saying goes, a broken clock is right twice a day. All in all, though, I think the most important part of this entire situation is that whoever is impersonating Sniperwolf trying to get videos taken down is handled either through YouTube or legally. Critikal did, in his updated video, make this statement.
But I reached out to Sniperwolf directly about this just to 100% confirm whether or not this agency represents her. I also could find no official mention of this agency ever working with SSSniperwolf, so I feel like any agency that would have a creator as large as her would be plastering that all over their marketing material. So this definitely seems like someone pretending to work at that agency and then filing this strike. But I reached out directly to SSniperwolf just to 100% confirm whether or not she's associated with this group. She confirms she does not work with them at all, and even goes as far as to mention that this group has targeted her channel in the past as well. I also asked if she would be taking any action against them for the impersonation strikes, since it is illegal. So I asked if SSniperwolf would be trying to take action. She talks about how they're a foreign company, so it's pretty hard. And she's right. Since it is a foreign entity, her options are kind of limited there. So it's going to really be up to YouTube to solve this issue. Apparently this group has done this multiple times in the past, and now they've just done it again.
So that being said, I'm not positive that anything legal will happen, but I hope that something can happen with YouTube, and even if that just means getting One Giant Onion's video reinstated and the strike removed. Again, if this isn't anybody on behalf of SSniperwolf or SSniperwolf herself, then this strike shouldn't have happened. It's really muddy when it comes to if it were her striking this video, because while it would be very hypocritical, legally she would be within her right to do so if she wanted to. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the most respectable thing to do, but if this were her actually making this strike, she would at least legally, I think, be covered, since the video itself likely wasn't that transformative and was 3 hours long. But again, one could also argue that a large portion of her videos aren't even her videos, they're TikToks, and not only that, but it would again be hypocritical of her because her videos are often not transformative either. And that's what the big problem a lot of people had, was the fact that since her videos aren't transformative, when people were under the assumption that she was the one who copyright struck the video, which again, that doesn't seem to be the case, people were angry over the hypocrisy of it. And again, I want to point out two things. Number one, it is very interesting that she has a list of other videos that she did copyright strike and copyright claim, but since we can't really see what those videos are, if they've been removed, maybe something was in it that was crossing a line, who knows. I just find that very interesting. But she did have a history in the past of sending false DMCAs and copyright striking people's videos down to get information from them so that she could spread false information about them. I've talked about this in previous videos that I've done. So yeah, to sum up my thoughts, it does seem at this point in time, with all of the evidence that we publicly have, SSniperwolf is in the clear and was not the one who struck this channel down. It does not seem like anybody who was affiliated with her struck this down on her behalf. It seems like somebody was impersonating her and just wanted to take down the video. However, if it were a copyright claim, I could understand. That could be deserved, to be completely fair. A copyright takedown, though, if this were SSniperwolf, I could see it being legal at the very least, but I don't know. It just would be hypocritical of her considering her own content. But considering that this seemingly isn't her or anybody on her behalf, that still shouldn't have happened because it's impersonation. Those are my thoughts on that. I do eventually plan on doing another larger video on SSniperwolf with some other situations that are unrelated to this going on. I just wanted to cover this today because this is something that I found interesting and very concerning for a multitude of reasons, because at the end of the day, this not being her highlights a very serious issue within YouTube. Although it is very rare and unlikely due to the consequences one could receive by falsely claiming or striking a video, some people still do it anyway, and when it gets through, it could absolutely ruin a person's channel. Luckily, in most cases, legal avenues are able to be taken, which prevents people from doing this so often. However, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that easy in this situation. There is good news regarding this situation, however. One Giant Onion did post an update which shared this.
So as some of you, probably most of you know, I got striked by SSniperwolf, or what appeared to be SSniperwolf. And today I got news that the strike has been removed and the video is back up. So that is fantastic news. I did reach out to SSniperwolf in private and in public. Well, I didn't reach out to her in public, but I made a public statement about it. And it appears that there are no hard feelings or anything like that. Obviously, I'm not going to speak for her. You know, maybe she's still upset about it. I'm not sure. But as I talked to her in private, it seems like everything has been dealt with, and you know, we can all move on from the situation.
Now, his full video is about 7 minutes long. I'll leave it linked in the description below if you want to check it out, as well as the other videos that I've discussed today. But yeah, it seems like his video was reinstated and the strike was removed, which is really great to hear. And it also seems like the situation was handled behind the scenes with SSSniperwolf, and things seem to be on good terms, or at least water under the bridge regarding this issue. Which for once is a good thing to say, that a situation regarding SSSniperwolf ended in a decent way. Well, sort of. It would have been best if this situation never happened to begin with, but that's really not in anybody's control except the person who was impersonating her, or impersonating somebody that worked on her behalf. With this video being reinstated and the strike being removed, hopefully that means the person who was behind this is dealing with consequences, whether that be legally or just through YouTube, but hopefully both, because this is something that should not be allowed and really isn't allowed on YouTube. But yeah, all in all, despite this being a pretty crappy situation, it looks like we've unlocked the good ending here. The last thing that I want to go over today regards an update with some things on YouTube and my health and some other stuff. July is quite a chaotic month for very cool things actually, but some very, not bad things, but some interesting things coming up. I mentioned in a previous video that I was having a few health issues, hormonal and reproductive stuff. After getting several tests done, I have found out that the leading cause of it might not actually be what was originally thought to be my thyroid. My thyroid is large, but it's seemingly fine and doesn't seem to be the cause of certain issues that I've been having, which has been like extreme fatigue and some other stuff. It actually seems to be my liver, and I had an appointment with a gastroenterologist, and I have also been having follow-ups with my doctors and just a whole bunch of different stuff. Right now I'm on a diet change to hopefully like detox and cleanse, and then I have to get some tests done after a little bit to see if certain levels go down, and if they don't, I have to get some more testing, and it's just been a lot. There's still some quirky things going on. I forgot to add in a really important detail about this that adds to the concern, is that I don't drink alcohol ever, which is usually what people assume when they have abnormal liver functions come back after a test. But it's been an absolutely wild journey over the past few months trying to figure out what has been going on with me, because I've been experiencing quite a lot of symptoms that are just really not the greatest, and led my doctors into suspecting that it was hormonal, which I do believe the liver also helps regulate your hormones. So it's not necessarily a wrong assumption, it's just that the assumption of why all of these weird things are happening has yet to be defined and pinpointed. I'm just hoping for the best that a lot of the stuff is diet related, and that my test results will be improvements from my last few tests, and we'll go from there. Aside from that, I have several videos planned. One is about that vegan teacher, another one is an update to a person that I've talked about previously, and another one is about a very interesting individual, and it's a pretty dark video that I've been wanting to do for a while. I know I had mentioned, by the way, that I would be talking about quite a few more people in my next mashup video. I am probably going to do dedicated videos on that eventually. One of them is about Mama Max. I know a lot of people have been wanting me to talk about Mama Max, and then there's a couple other people that I'm just doing dedicated videos on. I'm not going to put in a very short mashup video just because there's so much information. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I do have some very big plans in the future. Thank you so much again if you made it all the way to this point. With that being said, I will see you in the next video, which will be out very soon. And thank you so much to everybody supporting me over on Patreon. Thank you so much to everybody who has given me a super thanks. I also think I'm going to be opening up YouTube memberships, because there are a lot of perks on YouTube memberships that are exclusive that I'm very interested in. I think that they're exciting, and if they are, I will switch over to memberships. There's so many cool exclusive things that they've incorporated over the past year or so that I really want to try out. So yeah, thank you so much again. I'll see you later.